Brake replacement, 2017 Ford Transit Connect. What are we gonna need? We're just gonna need some basic stuff. Jack stand, impact gun, and the basic hand tools. First thing you should do before you even take this tire off, open the hood, pop the cap off the master brake cylinder before we even think of retracting that piston. Let's get right into it. I already took 2 lug nuts off. We're gonna place it there, and we're gonna go get the other ones off. I highly recommend you guys turn the wheel so you have easier access to the bracket bolt and the slide pin bolts as well. Now these things can be stuck on here, and once they're stuck on here, you're gonna need some type of rubber mallet to get them off. But yesterday, I already took the tire off, so we don't even need to do with that. Give it a little persuasion, she'll come right off. Done deal. We got our rotor, we got our caliper, we got our bracket, and we got our brake pad. There's literally almost nothing left in that pad. All right, so before we go ahead and retract the piston, let's go ahead and open the bleeder. Why we're gonna do that is because we're working on a Ford Transit Connect, and these vans are notorious for having issues with the master brake cylinder. So retracting this piston without breaking open that bleeder and letting the fluid pressure out is going to send fluid pressure back up the line and potentially, I said potentially, blow the master cylinder, because this happened to me about 4 years ago. So let's get right into it. First thing we're gonna do, go ahead, crack your bleeder. This one's on here really good. Got it. Okay, bleeder's been cracked. Just crack it open. All right, you're not going to allow any air into the system as long as nobody steps on that brake pedal. So let's go ahead, let's put our screwdriver in here, and now let's compress this. One steady motion, just like that. All right, so now that we have the piston completely collapsed, go ahead, close the bleeder. Close that bleeder. Perfect. Now we can proceed with confidence, knowing that when we finish this brake replacement, we're gonna get fluid pressure back to this wheel. Because like I said, these Ford Transit Connects, I've seen it happen. It's happened to me, and it is a unicorn, but it does happen. And that's the last thing you want to do. Trust me, you don't want to put a master cylinder in one of these vans. All right, let's get moving towards removing the caliper off of the bracket at this point. All right, so at this point here, one of my favorite methods to remove this anti-rattle clip, that's what they call it, an anti-rattle clip. I'll just take my screwdriver, put a little bit of pressure, and typically it'll come right out. If not, you can always, hold on, there we go. There it is. You can get it off that way too. It would have came off much easier if I didn't compress the caliper, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, cool. So now that we got that out, all right, so now that we got the anti-rattle clip off, let's go ahead and remove our slide pin bolts that are securing the caliper to the bracket. All right, so a T45 or a 7 mil, either one's gonna work. Let's go ahead, let's get our ratchet, and let's go ahead and break this loose. Okay, got it broke loose. Excellent, even. Now, as you're removing it, you can slightly push back to get that pin out, because this pin needs to come out. Now you can see this grease is from over 4 years ago. The grease that I use is still alive, active, and well. I'll show you the grease that I use later on in this video. So there's one of our pins. These pins must be cleaned to perfection. Let's go ahead, let's do our bottom one. Make sure you tap it in there all the way. All right, got it. Very good. And we're at the point now where we're basically going to be removing the caliper itself. Remember, the caliper is separate from the bracket. There you go. That's how you know I did a good brake job. so let's go ahead. Let's slide that off. Here's our actual caliper right here. Here's our brake pad. Not bad for, I believe that we're going on 4 or 5 years with the same pads and rotors. So the next step is we're going to be removing these 2 bracket bolts is what is securing this bracket to the hub. We must remove the bracket in order to remove the rotor. The rotor is not going to come out of here unless we remove the bracket. And it looks like we're dealing with 19s. Let's take a look. Actually, we're dealing with 18s. The 2 bolts are 18 millimeters. So let's go ahead, put that in there. We'll get that out. Okay. Put that bolt off to the side. Boom, there it is. Here's our bracket. This is the pad bracket. This right here, depending on how you prep and clean this, is going to determine how long your brake pads last and the longevity of the entire brake job itself. So you guys see these points here? This is where the pad sits. Now we must clean all this rust and corrosion from the bracket in order to ensure the longevity of this brake job. And what do I mean? What do I mean is if we go install it just like this, the chances of this pad getting pinched in here are extremely high. And if that happens, you're going to get a squeak. You may overheat your rotors, causing what we call a brake pulsation. Meaning, when you're at high speed and you're coming off the highway and you apply the brake slightly, you're going to get this vibration and you're going to be like, what the hell is going on? What's going on is your rotors are warped. And that is what's going on with this vehicle. The front rotors are warped. Warped. So let's go ahead and now let's proceed to removing the actual rotor off of the vehicle. Oh, look at that one. Now, because I had put anti-seize last time I was in here, as you can see, the rotor just came right off. And that was because 4 years ago, I put anti-seize on that hub because the climate that I live in, I'm in New England, so things rust up very quickly in this climate. So let's go ahead now and let's install our rotor, and we're going to perform the rest of the brake replacement. All right, so when it comes to prepping your brake bracket, there's multiple ways to prep this thing. The goal is to remove all this rust and anything that is scaled or built up. Now, depending on the climate you live in, a wire brush will be sufficient. But if you're up north or if you're in a climate that uses a lot of salt in the winter months, you're going to need something a little bit more abrasive. In that circumstance, you're probably going to have to use a file or a grinder disc or even the bench grinder with a wire brush. Now, if you're doing this at home and you don't have access to that, you can run to Harbor Freight real quick, grab a set of these for like $4 and get to work on cleaning all this out of here. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get to work and we're going to clean all this stuff out of here using this brush. Let's get to work. So what I like to do is I like to start right on these points. Now, please keep in mind that the stuff you're cleaning off of here is toxic, it's cancerous, it's brake dust, it's sand, salt. It's a bunch of stuff that you don't want to breathe in. So I recommend wearing a mask or holding your breath while you clean this. So let's get right to work. All right, so as you guys can see, we're back to nice clear metal. Check that out. Now on this particular caliper, I recommend putting a little bit of anti-seize here or just brake grease. If you don't have regular brake grease, you can use a little anti-seize, but I don't recommend it. I really recommend going with a silicone type brake grease. I really recommend that. So let's go ahead and finish cleaning this out. Ow, bastard. That's why you always got to be really careful when you're using anything that spins and you got gloves on. You see what I mean? I've actually seen a guy's hand literally go into a bench grinder, and it was disgusting what happened after that. So just be very perspicacious and aware of what you're doing, okay? All right, so that's what each one of these corners should look like. Just like that. Right? That's what it should look like. And again, we're checking for any scale or any buildup. If there's any scale or any buildup, you're going to have to get that off, either tap with a ball peen hammer or find something more abrasive. Now, when you're working on Chevy Silverados or Ford pickups here in New England, especially the F-250s, if you try this approach and it's all scaled up, what's going to happen is it's just going to polish the rust. It's not actually going to remove the rust. And you're going to need a disc grinder, a whiz wheel, a file to get that off. All right, so please be aware that this is the most important part of the entire brake job. Obviously, greasing the slide pins as well, but the functionality of your brake pads is what's going to ensure the longevity of your brake job. So just keep that in mind, guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish doing this. We're going to prep this, get this ready for the rotor and the pads. So let's get right to work. So here's a demonstration of what the pad and the bracket is going to look like. So this is what it's going to look like. So we need to make sure that this pad can function in this bracket effortlessly, meaning it needs to slide like this. You see how it's sliding? You see that? You see that? But it's getting caught. It's getting stuck because of the rust that's there. So I just thought I'd give you that quick little demonstration of how this is going to function in the bracket. And again, as I'm moving up, I'm feeling it bind. I'm feeling it get stuck. It's catching on the rust in there. So this visual demonstration should be able to help you guys understand why it's so important to clean all these contact points. All right, beloved friends, we are moving and grooving. Oh, real quick too, just try to avoid touching the actual pad. You can see where I smudged it a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of cleaner. We're going to clean that off, and then we'll go from there. But I just thought I'd, put that together for you so you guys can understand how this type of pad moves in this type of bracket. All right, this here is typically what European vehicles use. However, this Ford believes it's a German car now, so I don't understand Ford, but whatever. All right, let's get to getting now. There's two approaches to ensure that this isn't going to corrode and build rust quickly. What we can do is we can put a little bit of grease, right? If we don't have grease, what I honestly recommend, okay, is take a little bit of spray paint, just like this, something that can handle some heat, because again, this does get hot. And what we want to do is go ahead and spray this down, because understand that we've exposed the bare metal. So this bare metal is going to rust much quicker than if it wasn't exposed. So like I said, we could put a little bit of grease and we could put a little bit of spray, a little bit of spray paint. And I'm going to opt out to put a little bit of spray paint on that bracket. This is going to definitely slow down any type of buildup within the first year for sure. This is a very debated topic in my community, in the automotive community. Putting a little bit of spray paint ain't gonna hurt nothing at all. Like I said, grease will help. Grease will definitely slow it down, but nothing's gonna work better than going ahead and putting a layer of paint on there to really slow it down. So take what you will from the video, use it, apply it. Whatever you don't need, throw it away. All right, so we got our bracket put on. We fastened our 2 bolts. We slid our rotor on. That's all done. Now we're gonna go ahead and get our pad. I'm gonna place our pad right into the bracket like that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our piston. Our piston looks pretty good. Now I understand that this looks pretty rusty, but believe me, if you're in New England, this is very normal. There's no need to replace this. It just needs a little bit of servicing. What do I mean by servicing? What do I mean is we're gonna load this up with grease. We're gonna go ahead and clean these contact points right here where our pad sits. All right, same thing down here. So let's go ahead and let's get that going. Let's clean this up. And I mean, I am going to grease the slide pin, so there's really no need to force any grease in there. So let's go. Good. Very good. Put a little bit of spray on that. Let's go ahead. Let's get our inner pad. We'll flip it over and go ahead and push that right in. Just like that. All right. Perfect. And now we're going to put our slide pin bolts. So here's our slide pin. Our bolt and our slide pin, it's acting as two. So let me go get the grease required to ensure that these things aren't going to bind up on us. Let me go get that for you. This is the product that I used 4 years ago. You guys saw how well lubricated those pins were when I pulled them out. So let's go ahead and let's load these up. Now again, you just want to give it a nice coating. You don't want to really over lather this because it could affect the way the pin moves in the bracket. Maybe not this pin, but on typical brake calipers, it will affect it if you put too much. So you just go ahead, just slide it right back in there. That's it. Same story, guys. Spread that on there. And again, if you're using a nice quality grease like this one, you shouldn't need to overdo it. Seriously. All right, perfect. Awesome, guys. All right, so this is basically how you're going to perform the other side. You're going to do the same exact procedure on the other side. Now, if you guys have any comments, any questions, feel free to drop them, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, the whole nine. So like, follow, and share. Wait, before we go and do that, there's only one thing left, and that's just to put the anti-rattle clip on, which isn't a big procedure at all. And I am going to throw one more piece of advice out there. Before we go ahead and put this all back together, we should just take a very light spray on a rag. Brake clean, if you have carb clean, that works too, whatever. Spray it on the rag, go ahead, wash it down. Now, if you don't have the brake cleaner, you can just take some soapy water, put it on a rag. You're gonna have to put a little bit more elbow grease into it, obviously, but it will work and you'll get the same outcome. So like, follow, and share. All right, guys.